Hello, my name is Gabrielle Zirolli-Logan. I'm a 5th semester student in the 3-year Master of Architecture program. I put a little bit about my background information here if anyone is curious. Reflecting back on prior semesters, starting with ARC 401, we started with some basics, learning ideas like figure ground models and utilizing space for form and function. The goal of the studio project was to provide a farming community to the Phoenix, Arizona area. We were given a site and requirements with respect to number of residential buildings and minimum square footage needed for farming area, circulation, other buildings, and public space. Prior to this program, I had no experience with Rhino, so I became really familiar with that program throughout the semester. This was also an introduction for me to Adobe programs and utilizing them to make aesthetically pleasing presentations. This class was also an introduction to creating very minimal floor plans and elevations. In semester 2, ARC 402, we were tasked with designing a public market for a given city, and I was assigned San Francisco. My Rhino skills continued to improve, as did my Photoshop skills. Site research became a larger focus this semester, and more structural knowledge was introduced. I would say that my biggest critique of myself for this project was that the scale of the building, though I think it fit in well with the surrounding buildings, was too large as far as looking at the human scale. Overall, though, I think my design and plans were successful and I met all of the requirements in an organized fashion. In semester 3, we worked in groups. We picked site number 2 out of the few options that were available in our assigned Los Angeles location. As a group, we created a 3D site model in Rhino and conducted site research, and then split up our site to each design a residential building with a focus on affordable living on our individual plots. I chose to do an apartment building, and it composed the majority of the units that were required for our site. I also added a parking garage on the ground and basement level to add needed parking to the site. I started the semester designing in Rhino, but it was taking far too long to draft, and I was not happy with the quality of material I was producing. So with 1 month left, I took a big risk and decided to teach myself Revit, which was a program I had never used before. The risk paid off. I was able to pick it up fairly quickly and redraft and design my project in time for the final submission. I was also excited about the sustainable design aspects of this project, so I made the roof a green roof and added solar panels on the shaded structures on the roof so residents could utilize and enjoy that area while the building was conserving energy and gathering stormwater for non-potable usage. Though I am happy with the design, I think I focused too much on the affordable living aspect and therefore limited myself creatively with this project. In semester 4, ARC 502, we were tasked with designing a school. It could be any type of school. I chose elementary with kindergarten through 5th grades. I also chose the Boston site from the options since all my previous projects were on the west coast of the country. When planning my design, the major program components were gathering support and, of course, learning spaces. I came up with a few different design options and ultimately decided to move forward with the program design here on the right. Breakout and outdoor spaces were an important part of my design. All classrooms had their own outdoor patios protected from the elements, and they all emptied into a large communal center area as well. I wanted the layout of the building to foster an environment of safety, accessibility, and engagement. Sustainability was another main focus, as it has been with most of the studio projects, and it remains one of my prominent interests in architectural design. This was definitely my favorite project so far in this program. I felt like I was able to design both creatively and functionally, and I'm very happy with my final design. I'm excited to push my creative limits even more this semester with the library assignment. I want to still keep function in mind, but I know I can sometimes box myself in being too logical, so I would like to continue to push outside of my comfort zone. Thank you.